Welcome to the NFL Presidential Address. This is part 3. We are separating these videos into 3 different segments this year instead of one long one. Hope you enjoyed part 1 and part 2. On today's show, we're going to be discussing Arizona and Washington, Philadelphia and New England, the Rams and Seattle, and the Sunday night matchup, Dallas against the New York Giants. Well, let's get straight into it. Arizona +7 versus Washington, a total here of 38. The Cards are a total mess and look to be tanking all season. The Kyler Murray experiment seems to be coming to an end. He's even questionable whether he'll play on Sunday. Who cares? Last season, Washington was the 7th best team in the league in preventing scores. They allowed teams to average just under 3 touchdowns a game. I cannot believe, under any circumstances, that this decrepit Cardinals offense will put up more than 17 points in this spot, especially with a healthy Chase Young back leading this Washington D. I do think Washington will be a decent team this year. I think they might be able to contend for a playoff spot. It'll literally come down to whether their QB Howell or whoever else they decide to start has any ability whatsoever. These guys could Trent Dilfer it all the way, all year long. Just game manage, move the ball slowly, let your D do their thing, and you are going to win games. This Commanders team of weapons everywhere. McLaurin, Samuel, Thomas catching balls, Robinson, Gibson running the balls. They got really good talent on defense as well. I think this Washington team will play a very, very conservative style of offense. Real old school, pound the rock. I think we see slow, methodical drives, 7-minute possessions, and I think we see a lot more field goals than TDs. I know this number is low, but as I always say, bet the biggest total over, bet the lowest total under. If I told you guys that this game ends 13-10, would you be surprised? No. I think we get at most 20-13, and that still gives us 2 field goals to push on the total. Let's not overthink this bet. Take Arizona and Washington under the total of 38. Guys, I have a promo code for you all. It's Prez99. You get 1 month full out to all my NFL plays, including my 5%. Let me explain the service to you, and I did not do this in part 1 and part 2, so I hope you guys who watched those parts are watching this. Basically, for $99, you get a 1-month all-access pass to my NFL plays. You will get all these games. The games that I'm giving out in the videos, you'll get all of them written out with analysis, etc. You will also get the bets that I am actually making. I do not make all these bets. Between these 3 videos, we have 12 different teams, and I gave out a side in total on the Chargers game. That's 13 bets. I'm not making 13 bets. I'm likely going to make 5. If you want to know which 5 they are, buy my package. It will include breakdowns on every single game on the board. It will include teasers that I'm making. It will include my circa picks. It'll include my survivor pick. It is a full access program. Use the promo code Prez99. Now, Philadelphia going into New England, -4, total of 45. And again, sorry to bother you guys with this boring stuff. I'm going to take the under. Both these teams were in the top 10 for points allowed last season. Philly, they were the number 1 D stopping the pass in the league. New England, the 6th best team stopping the run. Here is what we know. For New England to win games, they are going to need to play slow. They're going to need to run the ball a lot. And they're going to need to go back to that Brady-style offense from 20 years ago where it was 6-yard outs, 4-yard screens, just short passes, methodically moving the ball down the field, 7 to 9 minute drives that will result in more field goals than TDs. As for Philly, they have a potent offense, but they are a run-first football team. Yes, they were the 3rd highest scoring team last season, but they showed they wanted to run. They put up an average of 147 yards on the ground per game. That is a greater average than the Bears put up in their passing game. And yes, I'm taking a shot at the Bears. Why? We need comments. Who comments the most? People who hear me diss Chicago. So comment, please, on that on the video. This is game one for both teams. This game will be on grass. This game will be played quite conservatively. Both teams have great coaches with a lot of time to prepare for this game plan. I see a 24-17 type game. I do like Philly here, but not enough to get to the window. 45, that's a big number for these teams, and especially for New England. Take under the total. Rams plus 5.5 for Seattle, 46.5. Let's make this short. Let's go straight to the over. I know I'm not giving out a lot of sides this week in week one, but it is week one, and I'm more comfortable with totals right now. I think the Rams, even with Aaron Donald, will be a bottom three defense. I think they might be the worst defense in all of the football. I think they might have the worst secondary that we've seen in years. This does not bode well for them against the Seahawks. This Seahawks team might have one of the best wide receiving cores in all of football and a QB with a ton of confidence and the ability to throw the ball deep. Last season, Seattle was a top 10 scoring team and a top 10 passing offense. They're going to have a field day against this Rams secondary. But I am not taking them to cover 5.5. This is a division game, and the Rams still have weapons and veterans and a really good coach. The Rams team still has Cooper Kupp. Now, I don't know if he's going to start this game, but they got Jefferson, they got Higbee, they got Stafford. I think this team is going to be better than what the pundits seem to think. I don't think they're going to be great. I don't think they're going to win the division, but I'm not taking minus 5.5 against them week one. A lot of talking heads are writing this Rams team off. Not so fast, guys. Let's see what happens. Seattle will put up at least 28 to 31 points on this Rams D. And now the only question is, can the Rams keep up? Given that Seattle had a bottom 10 D last season and a bottom 7 D in passing, I say yes. This should be a shootout of a game, one that goes well into the 50s. Take the Rams in Seattle over 47.5. If you like this content, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and tell your friends about us. Dallas going into New York playing the Giants. Dallas is minus 3.5, a total of 46.5. And let's start by saying the boys have beaten the Giants 4 games in a row and 9 of their last 10. Yes, they are 9-1 in their last 10 against the New York Giants. Out of those 9 wins, 7 of them, 7 were more than would have covered this spread. So they beat them 7 out of 9 times by more than 3.5 points. And that, interestingly enough, blows smoke in the face of don't bet favorites laying more than a field goal in an NFC East matchup. Why not? Dallas has beat the Giants and covered more than a field goal 7 of 9 times. Last year, they won 28-20, covered 3.5. They also won 23-16 in New York. That covers 3.5. How do we bet this game? We look to continue betting this trend and take the boys at minus 3.5. I know this is a square play, but I think Dallas have a real Super Bowl shot this year. They're obviously loaded with talent at every major position. They have a good running game, great wide receiving core, decent QB with a chip on his shoulder, an incredible defense, Micah Parsons, and on and on and on. Last year, Dallas was the 5th best team in the league in points allowed. Great D, and should be able to keep the Giants from getting to 20. Plus, they have upgraded their D this season. I look at this game and I think Dallas is going to get theirs with a predicted score of around 27 points. I don't think Giants get theirs. 17 points, 27-17 type game. Bet Dallas minus 3.5. Thank you, everybody, for watching. There are 3 parts to the NFL Presidential Address. They're all up on YouTube. We'll see you next week.